Download Tarang online radio app from Google Play Store.
Your Excellency, Mr. Luo Choi, the Ambassador of the People's Republic of China, Madam Yang Ili, senior diplomats from the Embassy of China, my colleagues and compatriots coming from all over India to attend this function. I welcome them also. And I also welcome all of you, ladies and gentlemen, for your gracious presence here this evening. The people of China are happily celebrating the historic event. And a tidal wave of patriotic fervor is sweeping the nation. We, the friends of China in India, join their rejoicings and convey our hearty greetings to them. Ladies and gentlemen, when we go through the history of the liberation movement of China, we see the grit and determination with which our Chinese friends fought and inflicted heavy blows to the enemy. Their road to freedom, however, was long and arduous one. They paid heavy price. In fact, the saga of Chinese liberation struggle has no parallel in the world history. India was the first country to recognize the newly founded People's Republic of China. Our diplomatic relations, however, were established in 1950. The two countries have not looked back since then. India has enjoyed civilization contacts with China since the early centuries. Our saints and scholars crossed the Himalayas, braving the hardships of rugged terrain and inhospitable climate conditions. We interacted with each other closely and shared our thoughts and experiences in social, cultural, and commercial fields. We both face similar challenges and hold similar perceptions and most of the regional and global issues. Both the countries believe that mutual cooperation will serve not only their own interests but the whole world. In recent years, especially after Wuhan meeting between President Xi Jinping and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, our relations have taken a new turn. We are keen to maintain these relations at all-time high. Friends, it is here that responsibility falls on the friendship organizations like India-China Friendship Association and Friends of China Society to strengthen mutual trust and understanding between the people of our two friendly countries. Ambassador Luo Choi well understands this fact and has been significantly contributing to the activities of friendship organizations. He has spent best part of his diplomatic career in India. Perhaps many of you don't know that he had an earlier stint in India from 1989 to 1993 and won many friends here among his tenure through his personal charm and diplomatic skills. His charming wife, Madam Yang Ili, has done a doctorate from Jawaharlal University. Both of them have become almost Delhi walas, the people of Delhi. We are very happy that they are amongst us this evening. We do welcome them on behalf of all of you. We also thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for your gracious presence this evening. We also express our deep gratitude to our members who have come all the way from all over India. Thank you very much, Shishi. Long live India-China friendship.
Today is a great day for us. Let me congratulate Honorable Ambassador, the Chief Guest today, and Madam Ambassador for the august presence. Moreover, this is not the celebration of National Day. This is the celebration of the greatest day today for everybody. We are celebrating, and today I remember those martyrs, those who have sacrificed their lives to the great country. They are my honorable comrades. So, the greatest song, the greatest comrade, those who have sacrificed the national building.
A big hand of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our chief guest.
It's really honored for me, my wife, and my colleagues to participate in today's function. First of all, I would like to thank you, the Friendship Association and the Society, to co-host today's function to celebrate the China's National Day. Secondly, I also would like to see that the speakers, they just make very emotional, very friendly remarks. Thank you very much on behalf of the association, on behalf of the society, to reflect your very friendly sentiments toward China, towards the China-India relations, also to me, to myself, to my embassy. I still remember last year, just 1 year ago, the same place and the same stage, where we were getting together to celebrate the 68th National Day. 1 year passed. Time flies. You can look back how many great changes taken place. From global perspective, we are talking about the trade war, we are talking about anti-globalization, we are talking about anti-free trade. From China and India domestically, China, last year we said the Xi Jinping thought. We are the second largest economy in the world. For India, we know that you have taken bold steps to deepen your economic reforms, GST, and other big progress you have done. You have made tremendous progress in economic and social society area. What biggest changes impressed me a lot as a Chinese ambassador here, that is our bilateral relations. Last year, the end of September, that is just ended the unhappy experience. As also just beginning of turn over the page and look forward for our bilateral relations. I still remember 5th of September last year, President Xi Jinping met Prime Minister Modi ji on sideline of SCO in Xiamen of China. The two leaders reached consensus to turn the old page and look forward, dancing together between elephants and dragons. After that, two sides try our best to implement the consensus, to prepare it, the Wuhan Informal Summit, 27th, 28th of April this year. Wuhan is my hometown. I'm so happy. This is our two countries, our two peoples, of course, of two leaders who are making history. We reached a lot of consensus. After that, the implementation is going on. A lot of progress, tremendous progress have made. Chinese Minister of Defense was here last month. Chinese Minister of Public Security is coming next month. The first round of high-level people-to-people interaction, the new mechanism co-chaired by the two foreign ministers, will be held at December, end of this year. Economic cooperation, people-to-people interaction, many events are going on. Such kind of exchanges, positive exchanges, is based on very solid foundation provided by two peoples. Associations, Indian-China Friendship Association, Society, Friends of China Society. You have done a great job. Without your efforts, I don't think the bilateral relations, today's situation, can be realized. For that purpose, from that perspective, I really appreciate. I want to thank you. Thank you all for what you have done for our bilateral relations, for the friendship between our peoples. 1 year is a very short time, but for everyone, it's a long time. I still remember this month also marks 2 years for me. 2 years sharp for me have been to India. Compared my first tenure here, that time, later 80s and 90s, official relations was not as good as today's. So people-to-people interaction, associations engagement, that time is more proactive. The embassy's engagement with associations was more frequently. So 2 years ago, when my first day be here, I found no one from association to the airport receive me. That made me a little bit upset. And no one asked appointment with me in my embassy. I discussed with my colleague. I said, why? What's the reason? No one want to see me. I really want to see them. I remember some of them. So in the past 2 years, when I visited Pradesh, every Pradesh, I always remember I should have one event to engage with Friendship Association. Chat with them, talk with them, to say what's your opinion, what's your insight about bilateral relations, about the people-to-people interactions, what I can do for you, what you can do for me for bilateral relations, Indian-China relations. It's not only for ambassador, for diplomats. It's for everyone, for all of us. Joint efforts is a must. Some friend told me that Friendship Association right now face some difficulties. Number one, the shortage of budget. Number two, the shortage of the young generation's involvement. Number three, official relations going well, and people-to-people interaction is not more important than before. I said no. Any time, any period, people-to-people interaction is always its most significant elements for the bilateral relations. Right now in China, especially in young generations. Not talking about the Bollywood movies. Not talking about not practice the Indian yoga. Also test the Indian food, the Darjeeling tea. That's fashionable thing for them. So in India, acupuncture, martial arts, it's very popular here. Last month, I went to Amritsar, Golden Temple. On my way, I stopped over in Dr. Cotelis Memorial Acupuncture Hospital. Surprised me. In a very remote area, there's a hospital. It's named after Dr. Cotelis, an Indian hero during the Second World War. He sacrificed his life in China. Important. As an ambassador, as a diplomat, 2-3 years, as tenure, you finish your job, then you can do nothing. You shift to another country. For me, I'm expert in Indian issues. This is my second tenure. This is my second home. India is the only reason for me to push me join the foreign service. That's why I said I must use such kind of limited tenure, limited timing, to do more to promote the bilateral relations, including Friendship Association. Even current days, bilateral relations, it's going well, very well. Personally, I know that some problems, difficulties you face is real. But we can work in together to resolve, to face, to address such kind of matters, problems. I really wish association can attract more young people to join friendship course between two countries. I really wish association can organize more function to promote the friendship between two countries. I remember March of this year, I went to Pondicherry. One of my tutor, Professor Xu Chen, he worked in India, lived in India 33 years. We co-host with some friendship association from Tamil Nadu, from Pondicherry, together to host a function, a symposium, commemorate of Professor Xu Chen. Chief Minister, Governor, a lot of intellectuals participate in that seminar. Right now, we are planning to publish a book for that seminar. After that, the new association, Friendship Association in Pondicherry, established. A young man, I know, he graduated from China, Yunnan province, play a leading role to push that organization to be established. We really appreciate that. My embassy will be always in line with your association. We can co-host some function together to share the budget difficulties with you. My embassy will invite some guests, delegation from your association to visit China. Every year, you also invite a lot of Chinese delegation to visit India. You can also, between reception to celebrate the National Day from China and from India, we can also work in together to host some function, to promote economic and trade cooperation, to promote the educational, cultural cooperation. In my embassy, a lot of Mali staff, they worked for us one generation by another generation. Last October, I invited some of them to visit China. They told me they wish next generation to be born in China. I said, okay, I wish my next generation should be in India. This year, I also arrange a scholarship for the son of one Malis. So we can arrange that. The Friendship Association, why not? We can also arrange some scholarship. You can recommend some delegation, some prominent person, some young people. We can arrange some scholarship, or we can arrange a trip to visit China. Young generation is the future. Country's future, relations future. Let's work in hand, working together. So that's what I want to share with you. Honorable Patsani, member from Lok Sabha, Mr. Jasbir Singh, Mr. Bhaskaran, Mr. Anil, Mr. Mahapatra, Mr. Reddy, Mr. Gopi, Acharya, all of you. Thank you again. Invite me, my wife, Dr. Yini, and also my colleagues to be here. It's really a privilege for us. And also let's together to enjoy some cultural performance from China. Thank you.
Since the evolution of the human race, since the evolution of India and China, we have been friends, natural friends. Fahim and Hyun Sang, two famous scholars, our esteemed cultural counselor is here. A few days back he was in Odisha. We had a great meeting like this. They came not only to India, but they went all the way to Odisha to study the scriptures, to study the Buddhist language, to study the Buddhist philosophy. And I must tell you, sir, ladies and gentlemen, the Buddhism what you are having in China is from India, and most notably from Odisha.
So optimistic about bilateral relations, as said before during my remarks. This is a very important bilateral relations, and both leaders try their best to improve that relations. So as ambassador here, to implement the leaders' consensus, that's my job. And also the bilateral relations not only belong to leaders, belong to ambassador, diplomats, also belong to all of us. So all the peoples, among the people together, working together, join hands, this is our obligations and our opportunities.
And Anilji is a great ambassador for the relationship for India.
All of us is ambassadors, yes. Everyone is ambassadors. Thank you.
This is a great day, a historic day for China, and as China is a very close friend of India. So naturally, you see that we wanted to celebrate this day on behalf of India-China Friendship Association. So I'm very happy that the program was very good, and especially the ambassador and his wife, you see now, they have spent so much time in Delhi because the ambassador had earlier stint also from 1989 to 1993. And now at that time he was the secretary in the embassy, now he's the ambassador. And his wife, you see, she's a wonderful artist. She has done her doctorate from Jawaharlal Nehru University. And the performance which she gave, you see, first time I've seen an ambassador's wife, you see, giving so good a performance.
That speaks volume of the friendship and the association that people to people culturally we want to develop.
Well, for the last so many years, you see, that we have been organizing activities with China, whether they're seminars or cultural programs or the exhibitions and screening the prize-winning films from China and all these activities, then bringing out publications. So this is something, you see, the unique in the history of the friendship organizations in the capital that we are having so active an association, and we have contributed a lot to Sino-Indian relations. So, you see, I personally feel that people-to-people relations are very important. Governments are having limitations, but friendship organizations, they have no limitation. They can go to any extent. They touch the heart of the people. So the friendship at people-to-people level is much more important than the friendship at government-to-government level.
मुझे ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कहना. हमारे चेयरमैन, फाउंडर चेयरमैन ने काफ़ी कह दिया, और ही इज़ अ की पर्सन इन दिस इंडिया चाइना फ्रेंडशिप एसोसिएशन. पिछले 50 साल से लगातार काम कर रहे हैं. तो हम लोग सोचते हैं कि इंडिया चाइना का रिलेशन अच्छे से अच्छा होना चाहिए, और सारे ग्लोब के लिए अच्छा है, सब पूरे वर्ल्ड के लिए अच्छा एक वो है पर्सपेक्टिव.
आपके ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की तरफ से चाइना के नागरिकों के लिए क्या मैसेज होगा?
हमारे यहाँ चैप्टर की तरफ से चाइना के नागरिकों को ऑल द बेस्ट विशेस फॉर देयर एनिवर्सरी, और वी होप strong and good, better than ever, good relations with each other, people to people. Soon we are willing to visit there. हम वहाँ विजिट करेंगे, वहाँ से डेलीगेशन बुलाएंगे. सो वी आर एक्टिव पीपल, मच इम्पोर्टेंट. वी आर एक्टिव पीपल. हम लोग सोचते हैं कि जब तक पब्लिक टू पीपल रिलेशन नहीं बनता किसी कंट्री में, उस अच्छा रिलेशन पीपल टू पीपल ही बनेगा.